Shipping, billing, admin, payroll, marketing. You're managing all the things, so why waste time sending important documents the old-fashioned way? Mail and ship when you want, how you want with Stamps.com. Print postage on demand 24/7 and schedule pickups from your office or home. Save up to 90% with automated rate shopping. That's why over 1 million small businesses trust Stamps.com. Go to Stamps.com and use code PODCAST to try Stamps.com risk-free for 60 days.
Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, a safe and sacred place to be vulnerable, to be transparent, to be authentic. I am your host, Tisha Michelle. From the deep pain and loss of my best friend Gloria, I realized she gave me the greatest gift ever, remembering my purpose in life, which is to help connect you to your authentic self, guide you to remember your purpose, and remind you that your current circumstance doesn't define who you are. Join me as we heal, align, and glow together. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul. I'm your host, Tisha Michelle. So let me get these quick announcements out of the way. So right now, if you visit healaligneglow.com and click on sessions, you will see that I'm running a 30-minute, $30 session, and I'm going to run that through, as of right now, is through the end of the month. I do probably plan on extending it. And I wanted to run this special because of the times that we're in right now, right? You know, people with the uncertainty and they're not sure like where to allocate their money, but they also are looking for some guidance and some coping skills and just to really talk into that, you know, that whole thing, like what's going on because plans have been shattered and just all of that. So I wanted to do something that helps, you know, honestly, both of us. So I'm doing a special and it's 30 minutes and it's for $30. And it helps me obviously because I'm able to help you guys, but also because the energy has been so crazy with me and it's been so heavy. So, you know, it also allows me to cut back on the amount of time that I'm pouring into one person, and that way I'm able to spread like a lot more. I do still have my hour session. So if, you know, you absolutely need like an hour, absolutely go for it. However, I just wanted to make this available to all of you guys. If you need some guidance on a little bit of, you know, clarity to move some of this energy around. And even if it doesn't have anything to do with the coronavirus, right? Just in general with just where you are right now, like, I got you. So just visit my website, www.healaligneglow, and glow is GLO, and just click on sessions and then you'll scroll down and you'll see the 30-minute session. Okay. So the 3 things that I am most grateful for right now. 1, I would say my ability to truly recognize when I have to step away from anything. Right. So normally it's the go. And like I said, the energy it's been a little difficult for me because I'm not really sure what feelings and what emotions are mine because I'm tapped into the collective. So sometimes the energy feels super heavy and then sometimes the energy feels really lonely. Right. So I have like all these mixed feelings and emotions and stuff because I am tapped into the collective. So just having that awareness, that self-awareness to know to say, hey, you got to step back for a little bit, even if it's just for 10, 15 minutes, you got to step back to really process and replenish my energy because again, sometimes I don't even know if these feelings and these emotions are even mine, right? 2, I want to say that I'm thankful for all the people that's just been reaching out to me. And wanting like my insight and my perspective and to help them understand things because that means that you guys are trusting in me and I don't take that lightly at all, you know, so I'm super grateful for each and every one of you and each and every one of you that are even listening to the podcast. You may have never had a session with me before, but just listening to like the podcast has helped you get through like something. So I just want to definitely say that I'm grateful for all of you. And the 3rd thing, I'm grateful for the sun here. I'm in Arizona. And why I say that is because in the midst of all this chaos and this uncertainty and all this crazy energy, it's been beautiful outside. It has been beautiful outside. Me personally, I've been able to go to the area where the pool is and just sit there in the chair, take my notebook. I've been able to walk around the neighborhood, you know, while I'm still practicing social distancing, right? And I'm just super grateful for just for the sun. It's just been beautiful just to have that sun beaming on me. You know, it's just another reminder for myself that everything's going to be okay because everything is okay, right? So I wanted to make sure, going forward where I just started these past couple of episodes where I'm putting out there what it is that I'm grateful for, because I want you guys to do that also. And not just when you're listening to this episode, but just, every day, really, really just take inventory and note of what you're grateful for. So of course, if you're driving, don't do this, but I just want you to take a second and just still the mind as best as possible. And I want you to just take a deep breath, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Last time, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And what you just did was you just got yourself grounded, right? And you just brought yourself back to your center, to your core. And now, you could say it out loud. You could write it on a paper. You could say it in your head. But I want you just to take a moment and just to state the 3 things that you are grateful for in this present moment. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Whew. Okay, so what are we talking about today? So, of course, like I mentioned before, I'm getting just these sessions or just these DMs and these text messages, and then I start to see a lot of patterns. So one of the patterns that I'm hearing from people is they're seeking and they're saying, what should I be doing now? My plans have been shattered. Everything has just come to a halt, right? So what I want to say to that is that whenever we use this word should, that's coming from a belief. So it's like, oh, well, what should I be doing? Well, that's a belief of someone still having to tell you what you should be doing. And I personally can't tell everybody what they should be doing, right? Because everybody is different. So there's no one size fits all for dealing with anything really in life, and such as this pandemic that we're in right now, right? This whole great awakening. So, what I've been telling people is truly listen to your body, right? And this is where we get to trust our intuition. And then people are like, I don't even know if I can even trust my intuition. I don't even know if my intuition is talking to me. I just don't know where this is coming from. And that's fair enough, right? And this is where I would say, if you're feeling like that, or you've gone through that this is where you get to do your deep breaths. And some people may roll their eyes and be like, no, I need more than that. No, we need to go back to the basics, right? Center yourself, ground yourself, get calm, right? And know that when your intuition, your higher self, what you're relating to it as, when it's talking to you, it's coming from a place of love. Our ego is coming from a place of fear. So I want you to notice, where is this coming from? Is it coming from your stomach? That's your intuition. Is it coming from your chest? You feeling this in your chest? Okay, what are you afraid of? That's some fear. So let's really acknowledge where these feelings are at in our body so we can listen to our body. Because our body is doing exactly what it needs to do all the time, and especially right now. It's just making us aware of where we need to pay attention to something, right? So whatever it is that's going on that's in your life and how this is affecting you, you have to get to this calm place, right? You want to center yourself, and you can do this by, whatever you use as your form of meditation, and just getting still so you can really truly listen to your body. Some people, this is the opportunity, and you see this posted everywhere. You may even heard me say it, like, get creative, do this, do that. That's great. But for you, this might be the opportunity and the invitation for you to just rest. Maybe that's what you, and I'm doing my air quotes, should be doing. It's just resting. Maybe you've overworked your brain and your body so much that your body can't handle coming up with this next invention. But what you need to do, right, and as I'm yet need, is rest. Maybe you just need to just be still and do nothing. And that's so powerful, because as you're doing this and creating this space, you are then able to get these brilliant ideas, right? You are then able to figure out how you're going to level up your business, or figure out if being able to look at this is for people who have a business, and looking at your business and say, oh, this structure is shitty. This foundation is awful. This is the prime opportunity to switch things around and to try some new things, because I'm not in the middle of the hustle and bustle, right? Or maybe you don't even have a business, but right now, your job is not on the essential list, right? So you can't work, right? And there's nothing that you can do about it. And I'm sending love and light to each and every one of you guys, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So it's best to come to this place of accepting it, right? And you're just accepting because in this moment, there's nothing you can do. So you accept it. This makes you feel a little lighter. So when you're creating this space for people who are in that situation, you sit there and say, okay, I can't go to work now. Right? And maybe this was the same job that you didn't like, right? So this gives you the opportunity to say, well, what is it that when you would like dislike Mondays or just be so drained and aggravated while you were at work and you wished you could do this and you wished you could do that, or I wish I was in this field, or I wish I would have did this when I first had that idea, but now I can't do it because all I do is work. This is an opportunity for you to sit and really get the courage now to go forward with that. And the thing is that even if you're stuck at home and stuff, life still has to go on, and life is going to go on. Things are going to change. Things are going to pick back up. They are not going to go back to how they used to be. That stuff, that old way of the world is over. So things will slowly start to change. I'm not even going to say slowly because I don't know if it's going to go fast or what. However, so what I'm saying is that if you've been thinking of going to school, now is a great time to look into that. Look into that program. Was it all online? Are they still offering it now? Are they offering some specials because they know people are stuck in the house and people can get started on their classes? I don't know. But you know exactly what to do in this moment. You just have to trust yourself. So I always will say to my clients, to all of you guys, you just want to create this space, right? Create this space to allow things to come in. So maybe you need to slow down. Or maybe you're the person who's just been chilling all this time before the pandemic, right? And just procrastinating and just in this la la land. And now this is the opportunity for you to take action. Right? But guess what? Only you know that. There is not no one size fits all. Everybody is not meant to go create the course or write the book or launch the business. That's not for everyone. That's just not for everyone. Some people just need to rest. Some people need to sleep. Some people need to ramp up their self-care. This is where they can go take that hour bath with the soothing music, right? It's that some people just need to spend more quality time with their family. You're starting to really see things and notice things that you didn't notice about your partner or your children. You're like, oh, well, since when you like such and such, and you live in the same household. But because you've been so busy and everybody's just doing their own thing that you don't even know much about each other. So maybe this is the time for you to just spend more time with your family. Again, every single person is different. And I just want you guys to just really, really, truly understand and trust this process, even though it feels crazy and there's so much that stuff is going on. But I promise you, if you just step back and disconnect from the television, the social media, and really just go within, you'll get these answers and you'll know exactly what is best for you in this moment. The one thing I can say that's not the best for all of us is to operate from a place of fear. Big no-no. Because fear breeds more fear, more fear, more fear. And whatever energy it is that you are putting out there, you're going to attract that. See, remember, we operate on a frequency. So whatever our frequency level is, we can only attract that. So if we're fearful or we're in fear of losing everything, we're only going to be able to attract things that's on that level. So abundance is not on a fearful vibration. So you won't be able to attract that or even get these solutions that for the problems that we perceive that we have. We just can't because we're not operating on that. So yes, it is very uncertain. It's uncertain times for all of us. But this is where we step in with our faith. This is where we surrender and where we just accept things. And when I say accept, it's the things that we cannot change. Those are the things that we cannot change. So we come to this place of acceptance. And once we accept it, it frees us. And then we start to see, oh, this actually is a blessing in disguise. Okay. And if you really think about, and this is not for everyone, but if you really think about it, you know, when we're going through a situation or you've gone through a situation before and you're kind of like freaked out and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what am I going to do? And it's crazy. Then later on, you're like, oh, wow, that makes like all the sense in the world. You know, so you really think about those situations when that stuff has happened and you just think about now, like this is a great thing. And I know it does not feel like it. And I have my little moments and stuff too, because I'm human, but this is going to be a great thing. And if you listen to my episode, The Great Awakening, like you'll hear more of like my thoughts on that. But this is going to be a great thing. Is it going to sting? Is it going to hurt a little bit more before it gets better? I do believe so. And this is the tower moment. It's crumbling and it's crumbling so it can be rebuilt. and it'll be rebuilt on a better foundation for the people, for us, because that old shit wasn't working at all. So I owned a home care agency, if you've listened to my episodes before, and I sold it in June of 2018. And I battled. This is one of the decisions I battled because it kept popping up for me. Open another agency, open another agency. And I could do it out here in Arizona because I'm not in my non-compete, because I'm more than 100 miles away. And everything was just popping up around me, I felt, right? And I was coming to this place of, like some of you, I was like, I don't know what to listen to anymore. I don't know what is the best thing, because it's like I'm seeing these signs and these things are popping up that I should open up another home care agency. And I know I was dope at it and I was amazing. And I know from everything, the trials and error, the things that I learned from there, I'll be able to do it differently. So like, boom, I'll be able to skyrocket this because all of the success that I had for doing that then with no experience, blah, 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 that I should do this. And then, I went through, in the beginning when I sold the agency, I went through feeling like, what do I do with my life now? Because that was all I had known for 4 years. And I remember shortly after, I was like 2 days after I sold it, I was laying on the couch watching Netflix and I got a little sad. Like my phone wasn't going off. There wasn't any stress, and it just felt weird because I'm so used to being glued to my phone, because I'm like, okay, is it after hours? Is there a care provider? Is somebody going to call out? Did one of my clients die? Because I would get calls, because I always told them if something happens, this is the order of the call, and you always call me and let me know if a client passed away. So it just felt weird, and I was like, should I have sold this? No, I know how it was doing, and I'm ready to step into the next, part of my life. And then you fast forward to now thinking of starting this business, and I started something, right? This is the thing. I got the name. I got the website up. I got business cards. I reached out to A Place for Mom, which was one of my biggest referrals, and I got put back on with them for out here, and everything was a go. In the state of Virginia, you don't have to have a license, so I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. You didn't even have to have a license for it. Crazy, but, cool, because I don't have to pay it or do any of that stuff. But I had the business model already, just changing it to Arizona. And then everything came to a stop, and there was nothing. I didn't get a lead on there. I just didn't even feel like I put out, on Indeed to hire some people. And normally I just would get tons of people from my own business. I did it all the time. I got 2 people. And I said, what the hell is going on? Then all the signs and everything just stopped. And I was like, oh my God, I got it wrong. Right? I got it wrong. Am I not supposed to do this? Oh my gosh. So at this point, I'm pulling cards and this and that. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just don't know what to do. Should I be doing this or should I not be doing it? Is this for my highest good? Blah, 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 blah. But it just came to a halt. And this is all recently, guys. And I was like, what is going on? I'm just not sure anymore. So because I freaked out and I was like, I just don't know what to do at this point. I'm just throwing in the towel, whatever. I got to this point, I just accepted it. And I said, you know what? I don't believe that I'm meant to move forward with this anymore. This was in my energetic field for a reason. However, it's being put on a halt. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust this. I'm just going to trust it, and I'm going to put that to the side. And that's not where my energy is going to go. And I felt so much better. And I felt so much better because this weight was lifted off of me of trying to figure out, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Well, I know this is that, so let me push against the tide, and then it's just stressing me out and it's making me feel, no. You know what? I'm going to get quiet and I'm going to come to this conclusion, what it is. And I accepted. I said, no, I'm not meant to do this home care. I'm going to close that chapter, and it's meant to be, it'll come back up. So here we are now at this point from when this happened. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks later, boom, we get hit with this coronavirus. And one of my first thoughts was, holy shit. 1, can you imagine if I still owned that home care agency that I sold in 2018? Or 2, can you imagine if I would have gotten clients now for this new agency out here in Arizona? What the hell would I have done? I would have, first of all, been in overload stress in the home care. Of course, we're essential, but still having to maintain, because then you could get care providers who just aren't going to go to work, which they have their very right. They can choose, even they are essential. They can choose what they want to do, right? I would have had to deal with all of that in the midst of my own family, in the midst of, doing my sessions and helping other people. And I was like, oh, that was a blessing. It came to a halt, and that I did not go forward with that, right? That was a blessing. Absolute blessing. So then my children last year, they ended up being homeschooled. It popped into my head to homeschool. I looked into it and they were on board, and, father was on board, and we made that transition. So it was a little transition to homeschool and going through the process, which was super easy, but also now implementing what they're going to learn in their own little schedules and stuff without having it super strict like school and just all of that. But they adjusted. They loved it. It's great. Guess what? I was ahead of the game. Spirit dropped that into my head. And instead of me freaking out and saying, no, I can't do that, I looked into it and it worked beautifully. So now here we are, fast forward to this pandemic. I don't have to adjust and my kids don't have to adjust to that because they adjusted a year ago. Ahead of the game, right? Ahead of the game. And then even to me moving when I did 7 months ago or 8 months ago at this point, I don't even know. That was beautiful. Like I'm here. I'm in a nice sunny place, right? And I'm not in Richmond. Nothing is wrong with Richmond at all. It was just time for me to go. But I was just ahead of the game in so much stuff, right? And some of the things that especially with moving, it was super, super tough for me. But that was my moment to be able to step into faith and trust. And then I had the experience to back it up. So guess what? Fast forward to now. I'm in the same position. I'm going to surrender and trust this process and know that this is a blessing. And even though it's going to be bumpy, it's already been bumpy, right? That I can be at peace knowing that I am well taken care of. Just like each and every one of you guys are well taken care of. You guys, you just have to open yourself up to receive the messages, receive the signs, receive the clarity, the guidance. Because you all can receive it just as I can receive it. The only difference between me and you is I practice this. So the more you can start trusting in yourself and trusting your intuition and trusting that little voice that you're hearing. But it's the voice that's coming from a place of love, not coming from a place of fear. That voice that is sitting here and telling you, rest, go to sleep, take a nap. That's your intuition. Now your fear is telling you, even though your body is aching and you have a headache, but your fear is saying you got a whole lot of stuff that you have to get done in this house. You have to do it and you need to be productive and you need to be busy. That's the ego. That's coming from a place of fear. Fear of not getting enough done or running out of time or whatever the case is. But that other voice is saying, just sit down and take a rest. But then boom, in your head, your ego says, no, you're procrastinating. You're being lazy. But it's like, no, trusting that voice that's saying rest. You could be in the middle of doing something and you hear or you feel like you should take a break. How many times do you do that? Where you know you should take a break. Oh, I don't have time to do it, but keep going. Where is that getting you? So you can start with small things like that of trusting that voice. And the more you're able to build up that muscle, that intuitive muscle, the more clarity that you'll receive. The more you're able to see that you're receiving signs and messages. In the midst of all of this chaos and uncertainty, we're all receiving messages and signs. We're just not open to receive it. We just don't see it. Things that's right in front of our face, that voice or something that keeps popping up, reoccurring, and like, oh, that's just funny. That's a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. Everything is meaningful and purposeful. Everything is perfectly, divinely timed, right? Everything. And we can sit here and pray, right? We pray. How many times have you said it or have you heard someone say something to the fact of God doesn't answer me? I'm praying, but I'm not getting the answers. Well, the thing is that we're expecting what this response and this answer should look like. And we're not allowing ourselves to be open to receive. So I want to share this with you. And this just happened. I had a session with a person, with, a client of mine, and what's been happening this past couple of weeks, Spirit, when I'm doing these sessions, I've had not everyone, but certain people that I'm giving them journal prompts, things to go and write about. And like I said, it hasn't been everyone. So this one particular one, I said, okay, it's coming through that I need to give you these journal prompts, but I'm going to send it to you later on tonight. Because the way it was is that Spirit is telling me that I have to go into a meditation and they're going to give me per that person what it is that for them to use as a journal prompt, right? Couple journal prompts. So I did that last night. It's like, oh, let me go and send it to her. So I go to send her this message with the journal prompts. And as I'm going to type it in there, I see that it's coming up green. And I'm like, that's a little weird because I know she has an iPhone because she's messaged me before, right? So I go to send her this and I'm like, this is super weird. So, okay, whatever. So I send the message anyway and it fully goes through green. And I'm like, God, this is so weird. Like, nothing's wrong with my service, like whatever. So then I get this message back, right? And it's probably about 20 minutes later. And it says, I am not sure who sent this, but this was brilliant and so needed, and gave me the heart emoji. And I got a little freaked out. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I said, okay, so maybe that's her responding to me. And when she says, I don't know who sent this, she meant like, which one of my spirit guides, right, sent these journal prompts to you for me? So I sent her a message. And at this point, I feel like I'm stalking her. I'm on Instagram. Now I'm on Instagram. I said, did you get my journal prompts? Because I'm like, I don't know who said that, right? So she hadn't responded yet. So then something says, open it up. So I open it up and I look in the message with the phone number. And there's 2 numbers. There's one number that's where she lives. So it's a different area code. And then there's one with the 804 number. And I'm like, where is this 804 number coming from? This is so bizarre. So weird. So finally I send it to her again. And this time, this is the crazy thing. I send it again in there in the message and it goes through blue. And then she responds back and she said, yes, I got them. Thank you. Sorry, I missed your call. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, my mind is blown now. This is so crazy, right? So I just go ahead and delete the 804 number out of her phone. And mind you, I saved her number because she was texting me later. So I saved her number in my phone, right? So I step back and then I just start laughing. And I was like, Spirit, you're amazing. You are amazing how you will work through me to get to a person. So I don't know who that person was. I'm not really sure if it was just a person. I don't know. And at this point, it doesn't even matter because this person responded back again and said, I am not sure who sent this, but this was brilliant and so needed. So because this person, I was having a session with me and I called her and told her and I said, we did this together, girl, because you reached out to have this session that I was in the midst of going to send this to you, that this ended up to someone else. And it wasn't a mistake. Nothing is a mistake. Nothing is an accident. Nothing is just, oh, this is coincidences. Oh, this is just crazy. You could debunk it, whatever you want. I have had messages with this person and it never happened. And all of a sudden there's an 804 number in there. However, it got crossed, but it landed to exactly who needed it in that exact moment. So that person asked for help. I don't know how she said it, how it came about, but she asked for it and she got it through me sending those journal prompts. Crazy, right? So I'm sharing that part with you guys just to let you know that your prayers are being answered. They just might not come the way that you're expecting them to come, right? And you're being heard and you're receiving messages and you're receiving guidance and you're receiving the blueprint. You always have been. We just need to open ourselves up to be able to receive it and just understand it may not come the way that we expect it to come. That's the thing. We have this level of expectations, right? And we feel like it has to come this way. It has to come that way. Sometimes when we pray, we get the answer and the answer is a shakeup. The answer is a tower crumbling. The answer is people being removed from your life. And then we feel like, oh my God, this is awful. What is going on? Why is this happening to me? You prayed for it. And sometimes that tower does have to crash. That tower does have to come down. You do have to go through that uncomfortable phase, that uncertain. And then that we're uncertain because we don't have it all laid out for us, right? But in the middle of that uncertainty, this is where we seek to find the peace in that. Because when we take our hands off of it and stop trying to control a situation, things come out way better than what we imagine or expect, because we act as if we're so limited, but we're actually limitless beings. But when we try to control and we need to know the next thing, we limit ourselves. We don't even open ourselves up to more of a possibility of a beautiful world or our beautiful reality because we want to control things. So in the midst of everything that's going on, how are you going to find your peace? Do you want to find your peace? What does peace even look like? I was talking to someone last night, and this wasn't a session. This is someone I know. We were talking, and she was saying, where she's at in her life. This has nothing to do with the coronavirus, but the things that she released some stuff off of her to family members. And she said she felt so much lighter. And she was trying to come up with a word, and I was like, liberated. And she's like, yes, that. She felt so liberated. And then she talked about, her job and some personal things that was going on with some garnishments, right? And how it was affecting her. And she was like, with all of that being said and done, she said, I'm at peace. And that, my friends, filled my heart. Because I said, that's what it is when we have this level of faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Even in the middle of the storm, we know that everything is going to be okay. How do we get to that place is probably what some of you are asking. Like, I don't know how to get to that because the bills is popping up and I don't know this, I don't know that. Okay, one thing is we're jumping into the future. And that's where the anxiety lives, in the future, right? And depression's in the past, right? But in the present moment, if you ask yourself, am I okay? The answer is always going to be yes. For one, if it's anything with bills and stuff, you know that they're not shutting anything off. They're not doing evictions, so you're not going to lose your place. Hopefully you have some form of food, right? May not be all the things that you want and desire, but you have food and water, so you're able to survive, right? And everything is okay. But it's when we let our mind wander and run into this place of, oh my God, what about this? What about that? I'm not going to be able to catch up, and I'm not going to do it. And all those things could be very well true, right? Be true. But in this moment, you're okay. And this is where you find that peace. But in order to do that, you have to still your mind. And when I say still your mind, just take a time out. That's it. Shut off all the news, like I said, the social media, and just be still or put your focus onto something else. Go clean the house, go cook, go draw, go color, go play a game. Just disconnect from all of that. So that way you can just still that mind from all of that stuff. And then when you're doing that, say like you're playing a game like with the kids or your partner, or maybe you're online like with your friends and doing a virtual party and everybody's on FaceTime or Zoom or whatever the case is, you're feeling good. You're feeling great. That's peace. That's fun. That's joy. Even though you still got bills and you don't know if you have a job, or you're one of the essential people and you have to make a choice to go to work to help other people and leave your family, and you still have to make the choice. That's tough, right? That's tough too, right? So it's just coming to finding like that peace. So if you can disconnect from all of that, find some peace, some joy, some happiness, some fun, like in that present moment. And then you ask your God, your higher power, and say, send me more of this feeling. Send me more of this. And guess what? Don't say, send me more of this time and having this. No. Just say, send me more, because then we're limiting ourselves. Say, send me more of this feeling. And then allow that feeling to come to you in many different ways. Many different ways. So my plea to you guys is to find your level of peace. Please. So, okay, I'm going to end this now, right? Like I told you guys, like the energy is so just different. And I'm not in each and every one of you's like home and know what's going on, but trust and believe that my energy is tapped into the collective. And I told you at times it feels lonely, which means I'm tapping into people who are feeling lonely. And for that, I just want you guys to know that you are not alone. As a world, we are all going through this together. We are all going through this together. So start reaching out to your friends, or even just on social media, and just sparking a conversation just to know that you're not alone. And this conversation has to be based off of fear. I love these different things that are going on social media. And if you are on it, I suggest like you go and participate, and it's fun. My cousin did this one. He said, okay, let's see who's a good storyteller. And I'm going to start it off, and we can only use 4 words. And then the next person has to go on and build upon that. And I jumped in on it when I was a little late, but I jumped in on it. I was like, this is actually fun. Or people are saying like, oh, what are you grateful for? Like whatever the case. And it's cool because it still gives you that sense of community, even though you're not physically with them, right? But for some reason, people are feeling like so even more alone because they have to stay in their house and they can't interact with people. But I just want to let you know that you don't have to physically be with people. And we all know that. But I've met some in the past 3 months, I've met some dope ass women. And I've never met them in person. I've never met them in person. We've only just through online, through social media, talk on the phone, like through text, like that's it. I've never physically met them. And sometimes I forget that I've never met them in person because I've gotten like close with, a few of them. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. We've never physically seen each other. Like, I mean, and just like in person. And I've gotten some great relationships with people. Right? So you're still able to do that with the social distancing. So for those of you who are feeling, alone, I'm tapped into that energy and I feel it too. And it doesn't feel pretty. So my heart goes out to you. And I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. You are not alone. And then there's times where the energy feels just heavy. And I feel like, what the hell? Like, can I even talk to a person? Like it just feels so heavy. So I'm tuned into people there too. So what I want to say to you with that feeling, that heavy energy, take some of that burden off of your shoulders. You can just roll your shoulders. Just do that. Roll your shoulders. Dance. Like release some of that pressure, right? Step away from the things that are maybe triggering you or making you feel like everything that's on. Is it because you keep getting all these emails of things that are still due or whatever? Stop looking at the emails right now. We're not going to run away from it, right? Because we need to face our stuff. But if it's getting that overwhelming for you, just disconnect. take a time out. Then there's times, sometimes my energy feels like I'm going crazy. Like, oh my God, I cannot be in this house any longer. And I'm like, I know that's not my feelings because I'm always in here. I'm always in the house. You know, like the stuff I do is all really virtual, and I'll go to stores or I'll go walk around and I can still do that and been doing it, but the energy feels like that. And then I know I'm tapped into energy of the collective. And then I have to just sit there and I have to place my hand on my heart and I have to send you guys love. And I have to send you guys love so it can calm down for me, and knowing that it's helping to calm someone down or many people. So I get it, being an empath, right? And being now, my sense, is really heightened, right? So I'm super sensitive now. So I'm feeling so much more than I normally do. And I already feel a lot. I'm feeling a lot. So I know what you guys are going through and I know how you guys are feeling. And I just want to let you guys know that it is going to be okay. So if you guys can just hold the faith and buckle up. And I say buckle up because some things are going to get a little bumpy, right? And just hold tight. And just know that we're all going to get through this together, and it is going to be amazing. And you're going to be like, damn, that was a blessing in disguise. And I'm so glad that I didn't give up. So no, we're not going to give up. We're going to get through this together. So as always, I am sending love and light to each and every one of you guys. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in to #Certified. If anything resonated with you, I would love to continue the conversation. You can follow me on Instagram @ItIsTisha. And if you want to be a part of the #Certified tribe, you can join my Facebook group by going to the search tab and putting in #Certified. My website is conversationswithtisha.com. As always, have a great one on purpose. Love you.